Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, huge developments out of Frankfort. After weeks of disagreement, state lawmakers have agreed on a state budget plan.
It came just a couple of hours ago, and we'll have the latest. A 23-year-old woman has been arrested for assaulting a 66-year-old woman, and now police say the victim is fighting for her life.
And it was an historical night in the NBA. An NBA legend went out in style, and the defending champs made history. A look at both just ahead.
This is WKYT This Morning.
What a career for Kobe Bryant. Good morning, I'm Bill Bryant. It's good to have you with us at 5:30 on your Thursday.
I'm Michelle Chamberlain with Bill Bryant, and Kobe Bryant had 60 points last night.
What about that?
Yeah.
You know, what a career. 20 years in the NBA and in the spotlight and so forth. Most of it ups, through the years, right?
He did what Kobe does. He hit the game-winning shot.
Yeah,
So
as you saying earlier, gets in the zone in those games, and so now it's memories. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris this morning. A great forecast on the way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we take you through the weekend, even up into next week. I'm not seeing any cold shot anytime soon. So what you want there in the 70s, yeah, you're going to have that the next 7 to maybe even 14 days straight. Temperatures in 50s right now in Jackson and Breathitt County, 69 by the afternoon. That means some of us will be there in the lower 70s. So upper 60s, lower 70s, mostly dry conditions. There is a small, very small chance of rain. I'm going to show you where you can expect that. The best chance coming up in a few minutes.
See you in a bit. Thank you.
We continue our breaking news out of Frankfort. This morning, Kentucky lawmakers say an agreement has been reached for a new 2-year state budget.
Leaders of the House and Senate negotiated terms well into the night, and just before 3 o'clock this morning, they confirmed that both sides have finalized a deal. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is joining us from our live desk with the details that we have coming in. Caitlin?
Good morning, Bill. After weeks of debate, lawmakers talked well into the night while hopefully many Kentuckians were at home sleeping, and they reached an agreement. It was just hours ago. Senate President Robert Stivers, House Speaker Greg Stumbo, and other leadership announced a deal had in fact been reached. The largest disagreement had been cuts to higher education. Senator Stivers also noted problems agreeing how to spend coal severance funds and how much money to put into the state's pension program. Legislative aides for Stivers and Stumbo said they spent the day in a private meeting discussing the budget. A budget conference committee didn't meet until around 10 o'clock Wednesday night. Now, the legislative session doesn't actually end until Friday, but legislators had to strike a deal before then. That's because it takes around 30 hours to print off a bill so it can be voted on by both chambers. Governor Bevin released a statement thanking lawmakers, saying for the first time Kentucky is investing in its pension system. Both sides seem to be pleased with the decision.
We actually were able to accomplish this budget without any nasty words being hurled across the table, nor cups, nor other objects at other members. And there was actually a pretty good sense of camaraderie in there and participation by all of the conferees.
Great news there. Lawmakers agreed to a 4.5% cut to funding for universities and colleges. Governor Bevin had originally proposed a 9% decrease. Now, Kentucky State University won't actually be included in those cuts, but the university president will have to come up with a road plan to turn the university around and present it to lawmakers. At the live desk, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
All right, a very long night for lawmakers and for reporters covering the story, and we'll continue to get you details as we get them here on the new state budget proposal. A judge is expected to make a ruling in a Powell County manslaughter case today. Investigators say Brian Epperson was originally found guilty of manslaughter and 2 other charges more than 3 years ago. Since then, his conviction was thrown out, and he received a new trial. Epperson is accused of driving high, also causing the crash that killed Donald Tharp in November of 2011. Epperson is scheduled to appear for sentencing at 3 o'clock today. New this morning, a woman behind bars in Knox County after police say she nearly beat another woman to death. 23-year-old Haley Bond has been charged with assault. The Knox County Sheriff's Office says the victim, 66-year-old Lily Sizemore, suffered life-threatening injuries and has had to be placed on life support. Deputies say they waited a day before charging Bond because the victim's family first asked that no charges be filed. At last check, we're told Sizemore is still on life support.
The retrial of a man accused of killing 5 people in Leslie County has been delayed until next year. In 2004, police say Clayton Jackson killed Chris and Amanda Sturgill, then set their home on fire, which killed the couple's 3 children. A jury convicted Jackson of the children's deaths in 2011, but the state Supreme Court later threw out the conviction. Because a juror was a friend of the victim's brother, that's why they did that. Now, jury selection for a new trial began this week, but court officials say after new motions were filed, the trial was delayed until next April.
5:35 now on WKYT this morning. Laurel County deputies have arrested a 38-year-old man after they received a complaint that he was eating mulch. Johnny Wayne Hurt was arrested Tuesday night at a motel off of Highway 770. Deputies found Hurt in a room that was destroyed with dresser drawers on the floor and beds, mattresses off of the bed and up against the wall. They say Hurt was under the influence of drugs. Among Hurt's charges, public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief.
3 people have been indicted for a string of crimes around Lexington in the last 5 months. Benjamin Hertzinger, Jordan Gibson, and Candace Tolliver all face multiple charges, including burglary, receiving stolen property, and fraud. Investigators say the crimes included stealing cars and breaking into homes. Lexington police think this is part of a larger crime ring and that more arrests are possible.
Police in Louisville went to a home to serve a drug warrant, but instead they say they found 5 children living in very filthy conditions. Police say 40-year-old Stanley Brindley is now facing multiple charges, including cultivating marijuana and wanton endangerment. Police say in Brindley's home they found the 5 children, ages 1 through 8, living among trash, uncapped needles, and mold. And they say they also found 25 marijuana plants in the house, along with 21 firearms and more than 7,000 rounds of ammunition. Neighbors say they're shocked about it.
I knew there wasn't good things going just because of what the neighbors were saying, that there wasn't always good things going on back there. But to think that there was children back there just breaks my heart.
Police say Brindley has been convicted of growing marijuana before.
We're now going to move along to the campaign trail. It could be a dramatic day in the Democrat race for the White House. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders will face off in a debate in New York City tonight, now just days before the critical New York primary.
Could be key. On the Republican side, Ted Cruz is sharpening his attacks against Donald Trump. Don Champion has the latest.
On the eve of tonight's critical New York debate, Bernie Sanders drew 27,000 people to Manhattan's iconic Washington Square Park, one of the largest crowds yet of his campaign. He challenged rival Hillary Clinton on issues like expanding Social Security benefits.
Are you prepared to expand Social Security benefits? I am still waiting for her response.
Polls show Clinton with a more than 10-point lead over Sanders in New York. At a community center in the Bronx, she tried getting out the vote.
Our potential is still, in my mind, limitless. All that holds us back is our political will.
On the Republican side, Ted Cruz is building support for a contested convention. Last night, he blasted Donald Trump on his campaign tactics.
Donald and his team, it's almost like they are subjects in a clinical course in psychology.
Trying to boost his campaign before the convention in July, Trump hired a new Republican strategist. While stumping in Pittsburgh last night, he talked about jobs.
Pennsylvania, we know this, provided steel to the entire world. It'll happen again.
Outside the rally, police were called in to control clashes between hundreds of Trump supporters and protesters. Several arrests were made. Don Champion, CBS News, New York.
It was a historic night in the NBA. First, we start with the defending champions, the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors made history last night with their 73rd regular season win. Their easy victory over the Memphis Grizzlies makes them the all-time winningest team in a single season. The previous record was set by the Chicago Bulls when they went 72-10 in the 1995-96 season.
And it was a triumphant farewell for Los Angeles Lakers superstar Kobe Bryant. The NBA veteran went out in style last night by torching the Jazz with 60 points. It was a season high for Bryant. In the fourth quarter alone, he had 23 points, including 13 straight in just over 2 minutes after Utah took a 96-86 lead. Now, in his effort, it was capped off with a game-winning shot. And the Lakers won 101-96. It was the last game of Bryant's 20-year career. Twitter went crazy, and Bryant finishes with a third most total points in league history.
Well, what a career it was, certainly, and going out on top. He now says he's going to have to find a new routine. Well, with the Kentucky Derby now a little more than 3 weeks away, the 14-karat gold trophy to be presented to the winner's owner has arrived at Churchill Downs. The trophy is 22 inches tall and weighs over 4 pounds, excluding its jade base. It's been created by the same team since 1975. This year's Kentucky Derby takes place on May 7th in Louisville. Smaller replica trophies will be handed out to the winning horse's jockey, trainer, and breeder. Always an important part. You know, the governor of the Commonwealth always presents the trophy, and so it'll be Matt Bevan's first opportunity to do that.
3 weeks away. Can you believe it's that
I know.
time of year?
Time is flying this spring. It is 5:40 right now. Let's check live drive traffic for you, see what is going on early on your Thursday. Looking at a lot of green on our map there this morning with no reports of any early issues or problems, at least as far as delays. Should be a good day. Take your sunglasses. You'll need them the next few days. More news coming up on WKYT this morning.
A Louisville teenager's kindness is becoming a hit on Facebook. Her story after the break.
And we're pretty dry right now, but we do have some clouds filtering our direction. What does that mean in our forecast for today? Maybe a little rain, and also your weekend looks phenomenal and even much warmer. I'll have that in your forecast coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have a southern storm just to the south of us, and what that's doing, throwing some cloud cover in our region, not seeing any rain just yet. But let me tell you this, there's rain to our south, that's for sure. And especially as you go south of the Cumberland Parkway, what's going to happen today is this moisture gets a little bit closer to us, and I do believe if anybody sees rain, it's going to be south of the Cumberland Parkway, and also make your way back toward the London-Corbin area. That's your best bet. So anywhere from London-Corbin, Laurel County, Whitley County, maybe even Rockcastle, as north as Rockcastle, but track down the Cumberland Parkway and south of that into the Cumberland region. That's your best bet at actually seeing a stray shower. Other than that, we're dry. So things are actually looking pretty good across the region. And not only that, but look at these temperatures, just pumping in some warmer air. So we're seeing those 40s and 50s outside. As you go out and about early this morning, you may need a light coat, but by the afternoon, you can get rid of it. By 11 a.m., I mean, we're already at 60 degrees. Just playground forecast for all you teachers out there. Getting the kids out and about. You'll be able to do it tomorrow, too. So if you can't get them out today for whatever reason, don't worry. You'll still have tomorrow and off into next week. Next week looks just fine, too. Noontime around 63, heading out to, say, lunch with a friend. 63, noontime, a lot of sunshine. It's pretty good. Kids going out at 1 p.m. right around 65 degrees. And you know as well as I do, it gets a little bit warmer as we go throughout the next couple of hours after that. So we're talking upper 60s, lower 70s today. And also that southern shower chance. There's an opportunity for it. It's not a great chance, but I'm just saying don't be surprised to see a drop fall on your head later on this afternoon. Spring kicks into gear, and you'll really feel it as we slide towards your weekend as our weekend turns much warmer. A lot of plans going on this weekend with some big events. Obviously, Keeneland still going on. It's going to be incredibly way better than last weekend. Last week it was ugly. I mean, let's go ahead and just be honest. I mean, it was cold, it was ugly. We even had a few flakes overnight that Friday night and a Saturday morning. So it just wasn't fun to be standing out there shaking. But you were at Keeneland, nonetheless. Saturday and Sunday would be jam-packed. I mean, it will be, yeah, you'll see that many people out in the stands and out on the patio area. 74 on Saturday, 76 on Sunday. I'll actually be out there on Sunday with a couple of the weather guys here. So we'd love to see you out there. An awesome feel there on Sunday. 7-day forecast. We track through your days. The only chance of rain we see really that we could see a stray shower is today and next Wednesday. We don't really have that great of a chance of rain anytime soon as temperatures continue to climb, maybe pushing out an 80-degree reading to kick off the work week next week. This warm air sticks around for quite some time too, guys. It's not here for 7 days. It's here for 7 to maybe even 14 days because I'm just not seeing a cold shot anytime soon.
All right, good long-range
terrain. A little seersucker.
Yeah, right. Right, yeah, exactly. Nice little hat. Yeah, exactly. We'll
Please
see.
do that.
We'll see. Yeah,
Might
we'll
look
see how
good.
it turns out.
5:47 now. A 13-year-old Louisville girl is being praised for her kindness.
Yes, this one will bring tears to your eyes. Shaylin Hampton and her family live in a rough part of Louisville, known primarily for its high rate of crime. The teenager recently decided to do some good in her community. She and her friends were playing basketball when a little boy with no friends asked to play. Now, a majority of her friends said no and made fun of him. Later on, Shaylin noticed the boy sitting by himself, so she was so upset, she walked up to the boy and gave him a pair of her shoes. But they weren't just any shoes. She gave this boy her $200 pair of LeBron James sneakers. When her mom asked why she did it, Shaylin said it was just the right thing to do. Put a good heart on that little girl.
Yeah, good lesson for a lot of folks. Giving, and of course, in his case, obviously, probably getting a little esteem out of that. Good to have you along with us on WKYT this morning here on your Thursday.
Coming up, you'll get the stories that are making news at this hour.
A lot going on, including the fact that there is a state budget agreement. We'll have the details on that. Traffic news, health news, a whole lot more coming right up. Good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT this morning on the air. It's Thursday, April 14th.
Let's take a look at some of the stories we are working on at this hour.
A major story this morning. After weeks of debate, Kentucky lawmakers have reached a deal on a state budget plan. The announcement was made just about 3 o'clock this morning. The agreement comes as the 2016 legislative session is scheduled to end on Friday, tomorrow.
A man faces murder charges after investigators say he hit and killed a pedestrian in Whitley County. Police tell us 53-year-old Richard Perkins was walking his dog along Highway 25 when Adam Childress ran off the road and hit him. Perkins died at the scene. Police say Childress was intoxicated at the time of the crash. The Centers for Disease Control says there is a direct evidence that the Zika virus causes birth defects, including microcephaly, a condition where a baby's head is abnormally small.
Zika is spread primarily through mosquito bites, but it can also be transmitted through sexual contact. There currently is no vaccine or treatment for the virus, which is spreading through Latin America.
Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are ready to face off in Brooklyn. The Democratic presidential contenders will participate in their 8th debate this evening at the Brooklyn Naval Yard. New York's primary is on Tuesday. The latest poll shows Clinton has a 10-point lead over Sanders in New York.
It was a historic night in the NBA last night. The Golden State Warriors beat the Memphis Grizzlies to claim the most regular season wins in NBA history. The Warriors' 73 wins beat the 95-96 Chicago Bulls record by 1 game. And Kobe Bryant played his final game. The Los Angeles Lakers wrapped up a 20-year career with 5 NBA championships and a convincing night last night. More than 60 points, was that?
A very impressive player. Yeah, he had 60 points. And he's one of those
Incredible.
guys that can get in a zone and stay in it.
Right. Going out on top,
Yes.
you know, that's the way.
Indeed.
All right.
Current screening guidelines for hepatitis C may miss up to 25% of cases.
Researchers at Johns Hopkins reviewed the blood samples of nearly 5,000 patients, and they found 14% tested positive for the communicable virus, but 1/3 of them did not know they were infected.
A new study suggests healthy gut bacteria may be able to slow or stop the development of some types of cancer. The human body typically contains about 10 trillion bacterial cells, some beneficial, some harmful. UCLA researchers isolated one common gut bacteria and found it reduced gene damage and significantly reduced inflammation in mice. Inflammation plays a key role in several diseases, including cancer. Let's get a check this hour on today's traffic trouble spots with live drive traffic. And once again, a lot of green out there, and that means as you head out the door this morning, there shouldn't be any problems at this particular time. Time to check right now with what's making news online with Bill.
Rolling up on 555 and on WKYT.com, those dramatic overnight developments in Frankfort as Kentucky legislative leaders have come to a budget agreement. We're carrying it right now as breaking news. They were racing the clock. They apparently have barely made it in time for it to get printed and on to the full House and Senate to vote on it tomorrow. Now, we'll be adding information as we find out more details about the spending plan. Also trending this morning. A man is now charged with murder in southern Kentucky after police say he was under the influence when he drove up on a sidewalk and killed a man who was walking his dog. That was in Williamsburg. Our most viewed story this morning is about a second student leaving Lexington High School, Lexington Catholic, because of racially charged threats that are alleged. Check out our story, including a WKYT exclusive interview on that situation. A lot of you also are checking out our story about the proposal from UK to keep part of Rose Street closed on its campus. The city has rejected requests to do that in the past. Kentucky.com adding additional information as they track it down about the state budget deal struck at 2:45 this morning. We do know it includes $1 billion for the troubled pension funds, and also there are some cuts in higher education. All of that being detailed this morning as we learn more. CBS This Morning coming up at 7 with your eye opener, and of course the latest from around the world. Plus, we'll have local updates. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
We're going to get out and about this morning. You may need a light coat before you take off because there is a chill in the air, but it's definitely not as cold as where we have been the past several mornings. We're in the upper 40s, lower 50s down south. Lexington coming in at 42 degrees. That goes for Covington and far northern Kentucky. That Maysville, Cynthiana, Owenton, Harmony, those areas. Williamstown, good morning to you guys in Sadieville. And not as cold. But then we head toward the afternoon, and it's not as cool later on this afternoon. We're talking 69 degrees. Could there be a chance of rain later on today? I'd say anywhere from 3 to 7 p.m. There's that possibility, slight chance, far southern half of our viewing area to have a stray shower. Other than that, we look good to go. I hope you guys have a great day if you got to take off. Be careful out there. If not, we'll see you back here for another hour of WKYT News.